Hey there, good day everyone. It's Sunday, August the 2nd, and today we're going to be focusing on the fifth chakra. It's a week 9. My apologies in my preview video. I kept saying week 8. I think I got stuck on 8 because it's August, the 8th month, and in my head I kept thinking 8. And anyhow, today's meditation is going to be on the fifth chakra, the throat chakra, and we're going to be doing some clearing. And before we get started, I just wanted to give you a little bit of some background on the fifth chakra, our throat chakra. So this is the chakra that is our, the seed phrase is, I speak my truth. And so the fifth chakra is the upper octave of the second chakra, which is the chakra of creation, feeling, sexuality. And so then our voice is what gives, is the vehicle of our creation. What we speak comes into the world. And so our fifth chakra is very powerful to think about the word and how we use the word. And it's our relationship to our consciousness. This week I was talking about polarity consciousness and how the world of language is divided into polar opposites: good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad. And that a lot of us are raised to identify with this polarity of consciousness as, like, we identified it as who we are. In actuality, our consciousness is much more expansive than these opposites. And I asked you to think about, the cosmic consciousness or unity consciousness that goes beyond this dual thinking. And I talked about being able to observe your thought patterns with neutrality and detachment as an observer. And so this is creating the 0 point between opposites, which allows us to transcend the restrictions of consciousness as duality or polarity consciousness of this material world. And so the throat chakra is, the place where we're able to speak our truth, our expression, our need, to voice our needs, to express our joy and our creativity, and to give manifestation to the creation of the second chakra. And the fifth chakra is also the first of the higher chakras. So we're taking all of the chakras from the root chakra, first chakra, all the way to the heart, and then this is the place where it manifests. And so last week we were focusing on the heart chakra, and I'm doing this process along with you, like going through each gateway of this temple, starting at the root, looking at the theme of each chakra. For example, we started with the Muladhara, the root chakra, which was I am that I am. Then we went to the second chakra, which is I create. And we went to the third chakra, which is I am powerful. We went to the fourth, I am love, or I'm loving. And today we're at the fifth chakra, I am, or I speak the truth. I speak my truth. And so as we go through, we're purifying stuck energy, belief systems, energetic restrictions that don't necessarily allow us to become fully embodied in this physical body. And so what I mean by that is a lot of people now are talking about ascension, and when I first heard the word ascension, it was some years ago, and it was related to the idea of enlightenment. And so I had this impression that, people were going to be, leaving their bodies and, reaching this spiritual, state of pure bliss. And it kind of made me a little bit nervous, because I'm like, I don't want to leave my body. And because to me it was like, a form of death or dying. And so as I've continued to do this practice and practice yoga and meditation, I've become a lot more clear about what is meant by the idea of enlightenment and ascension. So this is not a process of leaving your body. It's actually a process of involution, bringing all the light of your awareness, the light of pure awareness into your body. And this means, in order to make space for that, all the inherited patterns that are installed in our bodies at a cellular level, at an unconscious level, is being transmuted and alchemized and released into the nothingness from which it came. And so a lot of people, you may be experiencing this that yourself right now, are having to release tons of karmic material that you've been carrying around in your body for generations. Not you personally, but your family line. And this is the time of clearing that out, so the full light of consciousness can come into your body. So this is an embodied ascension here on earth. And so when we talk about this throat chakra, it's very important, because our words are powerful. When you think about the throat chakra, the Sanskrit translation of Vishuddha chakra, which is the fifth chakra, means pureness, and it refers to discernment, being able to discern the purity of truth. And this leads me to my introduction video, or my preview video that I did for this week's meditation. I talked about the idea of coming to that 0 point between opposites, neutralizing, creates all possibilities, all potentialities, because we're in the present moment. We're no longer inhabiting a construction of the mind. And so when we have our being in the present moment, living from now instead of living from the past or a projected future, because this is the only thing that we really actually have, is what's unfolding at this moment right now. And that's where our power is in this moment. The more that we practice that through our meditation and whatever awareness practices that are particularly meaningful to you, it shifts our relationship to reality, which affects the place from which we speak. And we are, as we've been told in the Bible, we were created in God's image. And God was the creator. And Jesus said, whatever I can do, you can do and more. And so he also said the kingdom of heaven is within you. And so this is not a going out, but a going in preparing this space this internal space, this energetic space, clearing it out so we can fully inhabit the truth of our being, which is pure innocence, pure openness to possibility, because it's not clouded by thought or opinions or judgments, which are all productions of this, dualistic reality that was created by language. And so when we speak from this duality or this polarity consciousness, we produce more of that. But when we're able to discern our true relationship to reality, of course it affects our throat chakra, our throat center, because we start speaking from unity consciousness. And then that starts creating that reality in the material world. We can be able to become to experience it. And so our voice is a collection of agreements and contracts, energetic contracts that we have with how we get to show up in our world. And these contracts or these agreements are beliefs. And a lot of the beliefs that we have were inherited from a limited perspective of this polarity consciousness, which I've already spoken about, good, bad, happy, sad, which is a limitation of our true awareness. And that's why it causes conflict and suffering and distress and dissatisfaction. It's because it's not a true reflection of our relationship to our own consciousness and to reality. And so as we begin to clear out space so we can hold more of the light of the truth, we begin, every energy center in our body starts to shift, change, open to our life energy, that so we can hold the truth of the expansiveness who we are. And this is a transition that's happening to our entire nervous system. It's it's an energetic shaking of our nervous system that's happening. And through these meditations, we can support the process. There's many, many tools and practices that you can participate in order to do this. I am taking you through each initiation of each chakra, each gateway into your inner temple, which is the place where consciousness resides in you, in this material body. And it's the true expanse of who you are, not the version that has been narrowed down into this mental container of this linear mind. And so our voice, as I mentioned, contains the sound of our voice. The words that we choose communicate the contracts and the agreements we have about what's true. This is like purity, the truth, your truth. And so as we begin to clear this out, all the chakras, but particularly the throat chakra right now is what we're talking about, we begin to be able to access the truth of who we are and then speak it into the world, which is incredibly powerful. And so part of this process is realizing the different layers of our awareness. This ego mind, this protective personality that we have, is maybe 90%, maybe 10% of our awareness. And then we have our subconscious, which is this part of us that listens to everything and then serves the conscious mind. The subconscious serves the conscious mind. And a lot of what's in our subconscious is not, we're not aware of, but it's still vibrating. And so we're producing that result through our conscious mind. Even though the conscious mind, perhaps took on an agreement as a small child. Well, of course we all did, took on agreement after belief from our culture, from our families, from our conditioning. And then it got shoved into our subconscious mind, and then we forgot about it, right? Just like layer after layer after layer. But all that energy there as agreements or records of belief are energetic agreements, and they're vibrating in our body and our being. And this is what I'm talking about, like all this generational karma that we're holding is in the process of being cleared out through this 11-week meditation series. And so we can begin to bring in agreements that are in alignment with this unity consciousness. So this is the transition that's occurring. And it's specifically, and today we're looking at how it specifically pertains to the throat chakra, because this is the energy, the sound of our life being broadcast. And so as we clean out these agreements and these records of beliefs that are stored in our body, our voices, the quality and the tone of our voice starts to realign. So this is step 1 of the 3 steps in my integrative awareness coaching process that I've shared with you here maybe once or twice. But it's 3 A's: attune, align, and ascend. And this is all related. So we are looking at how our body, our nervous system is attuned with our beliefs based on an inaccurate model of the world, which is based on polarity consciousness, which our conscious mind identifies as the ego, and then it forgets that that's not the truth of who it is. It's just a very small lens, because our consciousness is so expansive and comprehensive and dynamic. And we've been led to believe that it's just a tiny sliver. And if you think about, consciousness is not a possession of one person. It is actually a field, the field of consciousness. So when you start to study quantum physics and you look at energy medicine, and you see how, they've done some experiments. I read the book, The Field by Lynn McTaggart, which was really interesting. And the reason why I mentioned quantum physics and energy medicine is because she was talking about the experiments that have been done about how certain molecules will be treated with a certain protocol of treatment, and then cells on the other side of the planet, the same kind of molecules will actually react, even though they weren't the molecules that were initially being treated in the experiment. And so she introduces, in many ways, that's just one example that she gives, that there is no actual space and time. There's this field. And so you need, the yogis talked about it as Indra's net, like a spider web. And that if you pluck one part of the web, the whole web vibrates. And so we are one aspect of that, of the whole consciousness, but we're not separate. We're an expression of it. All right, I think I said enough now before we get started on our meditation today. But that vibration in which I speak of is particularly pertinent because your voice is a audible vibration of the energetic beliefs and contracts that you hold in your body, whether you're conscious of them subconscious mind, which is like, they say 5 to 10%, you're actually aware of the energy of the beliefs that you're holding, and the rest of your mind is of your life is largely unconscious, the subconscious beliefs that are there. And so I think we will get started. Oh my gosh, I already talked for 20 minutes. Okay. It happens. All right, so let's get in a comfortable meditative posture. As long as your back is straight and your shoulders relaxed, you can be sitting on the floor or in a chair. Letting yourself just become comfortable and arrive in your seat, the seat of your consciousness. And I invite you to bring into your imagination your inner temple, the one you created in week 1. And if you're just joining us, it's a safe place that perhaps you visited before, or it can be a place that you are just imagining, whether it's a place in nature or an actual physical building or temple. Whatever feels safe and comfortable as a sanctuary for your higher consciousness to arrive. And go ahead and enter your temple if you haven't already. And find a comfortable place to situate yourself for our practice today. And go ahead and look around the space to locate the altar of your heart in the center of your temple. You can use your creative imagination to create an altar temple that is beautiful and meaningful for you. Perhaps decorating it with items that have special meanings or related to totem animals or symbols that are powerful sources of comfort for you. And as you do, go ahead and take a couple deep breaths, just allowing yourself to calm your mind and to center yourself here in your temple. Through your nose and out your mouth. Maybe 2 more times. And I invite you to bring your attention down to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your Muladhara chakra. Traditionally the color red, and I invite you to drop a grounding cord from your base chakra down into the floor, reaching down and through the earth like a root of a tree, going down through the layers of the earth all the way down to the center of Mother Gaia, holding on, digging into that crystal core, plugging in And throughout our meditation, you can use this grounding cord to drop anything that you do not need to be here right now. So situations, worries, burdens, concerns, any pain or disease, just let it fall all down into your grounding cord, down into the earth. Mother Gaia is an expert at transmuting, recycling, and regenerating energy, neutralizing it so it can be recycled and refreshed. And I invite you to bring that earth energy up through your first chakra, I am, to your second chakra, I create, to your third chakra, I am powerful, to your fourth chakra, I am love, and then bringing it to your fifth chakra, which is traditionally a turquoise blue, I am speaking truth. And as all these chakras, as all the energy is brought up these chakras, they're lighting up and spinning, moving energy through them. And as this earth energy comes to your throat chakra, it goes down both your right and left arm, all the way down your upper arm, your forearm, and then to the center of your palms, where it flows out into the air like a little fountain. And this earth energy is cleaning and grounding. And then I invite you to focus your attention at the top of your head, bringing in Father Sky energy through the top of your crown, coming down the back of your spine, all the way to your root chakra, mixing with that Mother Earth energy at the root, and then being shot back up to that fifth chakra and out your hands. So that there is a perfect balance between Mother Earth energy and Father Sky energy in each chakra, creating balance, neutralizing opposites, duality. And as you do that, let's go to that fifth chakra, the turquoise blue chakra, Vishuddha. And as you enter that chakra, just notice if there's anything there that needs to be cleared out. Beliefs, restrictions around speaking your truth, asking for what you need. Any blocks to speaking your truth, to being fully self-expressed. I have the right to ask for what I need. I easily and effortlessly communicate what's true for me. I release any fear, any guilt, any shame, any responsibility for hurting others related to my truth. Letting that go all the way down through your grounding cord, letting that just all be released, or through the chakras in your hands. Continuing to breathe and release. I am not responsible for other people's upsets. I am not responsible for other people not being able to hear what I have to say. I am not the source of people's upset. My truth is not the source of other people's upsets. When I speak my truth, I shine the light on what is true for me, freely, easily, with confidence, courage. I speak from my heart. I express myself honestly, with compassion and kindness. I have every right to say no, to set strong, firm boundaries, to care for myself, to respect myself. I create my world with my voice. The original sound of the universe is Om. A vibration of energy. I release and disintegrate any contracts and agreements that do not serve the truth of who I am as a consciousness, as unity consciousness. In every level of my being, in every corner of my consciousness, in every dimension of space and time, I disintegrate any untruths that do not represent my truest and highest wisdom and knowledge. And I release these into my grounding cord, and I release them into the earth. Continuing to breathe and release. And throughout the week, this week, I invite you to return to your inner temple, continuing this work with your throat chakra, your true expression of who you are, outside the limitations of a polarity consciousness, of ego consciousness. Stepping into the fullness and the expansiveness of awareness, of your awareness. Releasing each vibration, every octave, at every chakra. One through 5. Cleaning and clearing. releasing and letting go. Inviting the light of awareness to fill your inner temple. Taking a minute perhaps to leave a offering of devotion on the altar of your heart before we finish today. Leaving all your burdens and cares on the healing consciousness of your heart's altar. Where all negativity is transmuted, transformed, and neutralized. Going ahead and closing off your root chakra, dropping the cord back down into the earth, pulling in your crown chakra, bringing your attention back into the room. And when you're ready, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and then opening your eyes, bringing yourself back into the space of the room. All right, thank you so much for joining me today for week 9. It's already week 9. This has been going very quickly. So we just have 10, 11, 2 more weeks left. And then it will be the end of the 11-week meditation series that we started in order to support ourselves in this transition that consciousness is going through. The transition of the planet that is happening. And so this is just a process of support and comfort as we move into a new way of being. And so if you've missed any of the previous weeks of the guided meditations, I invite you to go back starting at week 1. Each week has a preview that gives a little bit of the description of the chakra and what the seed phrase that we're working on related to the chakra has to do with consciousness and our awareness. And then each meditation has to do with the clearing of the chakra. Today I added a little bit more than I usually do. I spoke a lot about the 5th chakra because it's a powerful chakra. And so, they're posted here. They're posted on my YouTube, my Mind Heart Space YouTube channel, as well as my Facebook page. So you can go back and check them out and you can re-listen to them. And I think, and also if you'd like to find out more about my integrative awareness coaching services and the 3 A's, which I spoke to you about, which were Attune, Align, and Ascend, which is a 3-step process that I created to help my clients find an easy way to remember the process that's happening as bringing all those parts of ourselves from our unconscious or subconscious mind into our awareness for healing and integration, so we can create the kind of lives that's fully in alignment with who we are and what we value. So I think that's all for now. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to see you. And please remember what a valuable treasure you are. Namaste. I'll see you later this week with a preview of week 10, which is the 6th chakra. And I will be having my podcast published this week on probably Tuesday, and I'm still working on the topic, so it will be a surprise. But it's related to speaking your truth. All right, my loves. See you next time. Bye for now.